Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Johnny's Joint. Now today, I'm very excited to have as my special guest. He is the last survivor, Joseph Anthony. Joseph, welcome to Johnny's Joint.
What's going on, Johnny?
It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure to be here.
Oh yeah, I know.
Awesome.
Everybody wants to be on Johnny's Joint. Everyone's trying to hit Johnny's Joint.
Everyone is trying to hit Johnny's joint. In fact,
Yeah. It's a cigar, it's not a joint.
Oh, okay.
We don't condone drugs here on BEW, ladies and gentlemen. This is Johnny Johnson speaking. Public broadcasting message for all you kids out there. Stay in school.
You don't condone drugs?
No.
What about the cocaine thing? That didn't... Okay.
The past is the past, Joseph. Okay? We're starting from the future. You should know this, okay? You are the future of BEW. You know, it's all about the future. So, you know, I do have a couple questions. You know, I do take my job here at BEW very seriously.
Okay, shoot.
Okay, so, Joseph Anthony. When you were in the cradle, you know, you were in the bars, you're in the cradle with the rattle, the monkey, da-da-da-da, pooping your diapers. How long did it take you to discover wrestling? And what was your first experience watching wrestling? Can you remember? Can you take us back to that?
So, I mean, okay, the first time I experienced wrestling, I think the first time I ever experienced wrestling was actually with Jordan Oliver, nonetheless.
Oh, wow.
That was when I was about second or third grade. I remember we watched it, and then we actually wanted to pursue that. And then we started wrestling, and we've hated each other ever since. So basically...
Right, yeah, I do know you have quite the history with Jordan Oliver. You know, personally, I don't know how anyone could be friends with that man, but, you know, I guess kids will be kids. Now, when you first fell in love with wrestling, you know, I'm not sure, I wouldn't necessarily use those terms, you know, I assume you were hooked by wrestling. Was there any one wrestler that stood out to you in your mind that you were like, that's my guy, and, you know, who inspired you to wrestle yourself?
Right. Well, my favorite wrestlers growing up were probably Eddie Guerrero. I really loved Eddie Guerrero. I loved Triple H.
Right.
I loved Randy Orton. All those guys. I really enjoyed watching them compete, and they inspired me to pursue a wrestling career as well.
Absolutely. All legends. Okay. So, now getting to BEW. How did you first get involved with BEW? Did you reach out to BEW, or, you know, was it sort of a recruiting process where, you know, you gradually became a member of the BEW roster?
Well, actually what happened was I came to one of the BEW shows, and after the show, I spoke with Navon, and once I spoke with Navon, I told him that I was also a wrestler. And when I told him that, he was like, oh, and, you know, and we talked through the process, and eventually I was in BEW, so that's basically how it happened.
Right, yeah. You know,
Right.
you talk to the king of the mountain. That's a lot of the guys' story on the roster, you know? They wanted a break. They felt like they could hang. You know, some guys have, some guys haven't. Obviously, the last survivor, Joseph Anthony, he is a survivor. Now, you know, you've been in BEW quite a while now. Your favorite rivalry to this date, who has it been with?
My favorite rivalry, man, it has to be my most heated rivalry, which is basically with not only all of Top Gunz, but specifically Jordan Oliver. It's obvious. I've always had this, you know, competition with him, and we're always competing to see who can be better, who could be the better wrestler, and that's just how it's been, and how it probably always will be. So,
Absolutely, I don't see that changing anytime soon. Absolutely not. So, you know, I know you answered that question. Your favorite match, one-on-one, you know, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be one-on-one, but the favorite match that you've been a participant in so far in BEW.
well, if I wasn't cheated out of that BEW championship,
Disgusting.
I would have said that one, granted, because I had that match practically in the bag, but we won't discuss that right now. My favorite match so far that I was in was probably the Money in the Bank Championship match, because obviously, or the Money in the Bank Ladder Match, I should say. Basically because, I mean, hey, I won the match, you know, and I came out on top, so I guess that was my most successful and triumphant match to this date.
Absolutely, and we will be getting back to that Money in the Bank victory later on in the interview. But, you know, we'll take it back a little bit further than the Money in the Bank ladder match to the Backyard Rumble, where you were successful picking up the Rising Star Championship.
Another title I was cheated out of. Yeah.
Well, you're getting ahead of Johnny, okay? Johnny's keeping the pace here, all right?
All right.
So, you won that.
Yep.
And then you went on to become the longest reigning Rising Star champion that we've had in BEW. You know, you defended it. You were an amazing champion, well respected. You were somebody that the kids could look up to, people could respect. But as you said, Road to Gold, it wasn't exactly, you know, your most glorious night in terms of you know, how you were treated. It wasn't very fair. Why don't you tell the people exactly what happened if they didn't see it themselves at Road to Gold, but you all should watch it. You should be watching it, damn it.
So, at Road to Gold, man, you were right. It wasn't my night at all. The Rising Star Championship match, I thought I had that one in the bag too, and just when I did, they handcuffed me to the turnbuckle.
Handcuffed. 2-on-1 handcuffed.
To the turnbuckle, and then later on that night, I had...
Hey. What did I tell you about getting ahead of you, Johnny?
Oh, back to the Rising Star.
We're talking about Rising Star.
Okay, so basically while handcuffed to that turnbuckle, I had to watch my title be ripped from my hands.
Right in front of his face. And there was nothing he could even do about it. Nothing. He was helpless. Okay, so now, getting back with Johnny here. Okay, so now that happened. Mm-hmm. You went on in the night, you thought you could save face, you know, okay, you lost the Rising Star, oh well, you're still in the Heavyweight Championship match, BEW Championship. You win you won the first fall, you won the first fall, you lost the second, so it's now 1-1. Why don't you tell the folks, in your own words, what happened?
So I had the match in the bag, I remember it.
In the bag.
In the bag, Johnny, in the bag, just like all your drugs. I had it in the bag, and victory was just like, it was inevitable. I was going to win the match, I had it set, and then out of nowhere, he pulls a wrench out of, I don't know where, and hits me in the head with it, and after that, it was lights out, and next thing I know, Jordan has the title, and I lost both my titles in one night.
Now, after that, after being robbed of 2 championships in one night, what was going through your head after that event?
Well, you see, the thing about The Last Survivor is that he always comes equipped with a plan. And all I can say to the people right now is just wait.
Just wait, ladies and gentlemen. Words from The Last Survivor himself. Okay, so now you briefly did mention this. Halloween Hell. The Money in the Bank Ladder Match. 5 men from all over. They were brought in. The Last Survivor, even after an interference by the top Gunz, the Last Survivor was able to climb the ladder and retrieve that Money in the Bank briefcase. How'd you feel when you did that?
It was the best feeling I have ever had. I remember going up there, I remember successfully obtaining the Money in the Bank championship, and I remember just taking down that briefcase, and I remember just thinking, this is it. I'm going to get my chance again.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't suppose you'd like to share any plans of cashing in that briefcase with your old friend Johnny Johnson, huh?
Maybe another time, Johnny. Maybe another time.
Well, you know, my ear's always open if you want. You know, I promise I won't. I'm not no snitch like Arnold. You know, I'll keep it between you and I.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. So, lastly, I mean, I guess my last question here would be, what going forward are Joseph Anthony's plans in BEW?
Well, I can't say too much, but I will say that 2016 is the year of Joseph Anthony. That's all I can say right now.
That's all he can say. That's all he needs to say, ladies and gentlemen. Joseph, it was a pleasure. I wish you nothing but success in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Johnny's Joint. For Joseph Anthony, I'm Johnny's Johnson. Have a good night.